Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ochibarongo Stadium. To the Ochibarongo Stadium, Bokati. The Bokati Stadium in Ochibarongo. The music is still playing, and we are here in a little bit of a festive mood as big points are at stake to crown the Debmarine Namibian Premiership champions. The fixture is Mighty Gunners versus African Stars. Mighty Gunners, of course, are the home team in the town of Ochibarongo. Let us see if the Red Army can get, firstly, all 3 points, as Mighty Gunners did defeat African Stars in game week 15. We will have to see if they can first get some sort of revenge, and then secondly, African Stars just need 3 points or 1 point to clinch the Debmarine title. You said it. I said it on WhatsApp. No, I can't send it. But yes, indeed, it's high stakes here at the Bokati Stadium. The two substitutes bench are just coming to their areas, and as they are doing that, let me read out the starting lineups for both teams, starting with the home team. We are live on YouTube, so tell your football friends and family that we are here. This is the one, this might be for all the marbles here, ladies and gentlemen. And for as long as the network is allowed to grace us, you know how things can be. But I will be able to see your comments live on YouTube. So to those already joining us, Florence, McBrain, and Sonia, thank you for joining us. And tell us where you're watching from. Tell us what you think the final result will be, and if you believe African Stars will get it done today in Ochibarongo. So the starting lineups are as follows. For Mighty Gunners, in goal, we have Tomwell Damasep. Number 21, Ian Urap. Number 20, Moses Weyuru. Number 4, Philippus Gausep. Number 3, Simeon Nambondi. Number 18, Dion Harisep. Number 8, Robert Haihura. Number 7, Bernard Horosep. Number 10, Ronaldo Sorosep. So Horosep and number 10, Ronaldo Sorosep. And of course, the danger man that we all know is number 15, Stefanos Petrus. For the bench, number 11, Daniel Suya. Number 16, the goalkeeper, Beverly. Number 2, Mulini. Number 5, Nekongo. Number 23, Gerald. Number 9, Rivaldo Edwin. And number 17, to close up Coach Engari Gerald's team, is number 17, Susep. Watching from Japan and watching from Scotland, African Stars 2-0. I hope you guys are saying the truth of where you guys are watching from. Scotland. That's very interesting. Nonetheless, let's read out the starting lineup for African Stars. It is Kasetura in goal, Marvin Kasetura. Tabang Malani at right back, Charles Hambira and Vitapin Garuka at centre back, and replacing Kambanda is Ngero Katua, slotting in at that dangerous left back position. In the midfield, a few changes. We have Stiga, our captain, of course, at defensive midfielder. And then the two other midfielders is Maharero, replacing Rika Mujua. And Bakonja will now slot deeper into an attacking role to replace Godwin Ising. Willie Stefanos, Paulus Aludelu, and Jomo Chiveta finish up the starting lineup as the players make their way onto the pitch. For the bench, of course, Gianluca, Godwin, Kambanda, Chatindi, Rika Munjua, Dion Dennis, Harold Gassep, Jackson Johannes, and Given Mutuzu are the bench players for Stars. One of the interesting things here at the Bokati Stadium is definitely the positioning of how we will shoot this game. And it's just an interesting position for our cameras. And we hope that we will be able to definitely give out a good stream so that you can view how win the Debmarine Premiership. And let me just remind you once more what is at stake here. This is the second last game of the season. African Stars are currently in the same position that they were yesterday. They are in fourth. And unfortunately, for you Mighty Gunners supporters, there is no way you can win the title. That is the same for Komas Nampo in third. They are both having 47 points. So, only Pride to try and go for second. Young African are in second with 50 points, and that is the only team that can really have some influence on how and when African Stars win the title. African Stars have 56 points, 2 games to the good. So even if they lose today, if African Stars lose today and Young African win, Young African are in second, Stars will still have 3 points going into the last game. And then Young African would have to beat African Stars, which is the last game of the season, by 7 or 9 goals, which is essentially impossible. As we see the coin toss between the two captains, Ronald Keshere Stiga for African Stars and Ian Urap for Mighty Gunners. So that's the one scenario. Even if African Stars lose today and Young African win today, and Young African are playing, in fact, Okahanja United in Okahanja, starting at 3 p.m. as well. It still goes down to the last game of the season, where Young African would still have to defeat African Stars by 9 goals, essentially. But worst case scenario is this, is African Stars lose both games, today and against Young African. What will that mean? It will mean that goal difference will come at play. But between Young African and African Stars have 22 goals plus. Young African have 13 goals plus. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do the math and understand football that if you have an advantage of 9 goals with 2 games left, even if African Stars lose the next 2 games, it is essentially impossible for a young African to have any advantage. But we're not talking about losing. We're talking about getting some sort of revenge. And that revenge will start with 3 points today in Otjiwarongo. And as I said, Sam, the only vantage point for shooting this game at the stadium. The stadium's layout is a little bit awkward from most other stadiums. So this is the best angle we can have. So you will have to watch the game as the coaches do. Coach Bob Mafoso standing at the touchline. You can just see him at the bottom right of your picture. And Coach Hungary Gerald is seated, comfortable, and just looking for a good performance from his team. Maybe to make things a little bit interesting for as long as they can. But as I said, or as I have said, or as we all know, Mighty Gunners are one of the most physical teams in the Premiership. And physicality is maybe not a very strong suit for African Stars. They're more technical. It will be very interesting to see how these two teams match up. Throw in from Katua Bakoja with his first touch of the game. Here's Willie Stefanis down the line for Jomo Chiveta. He's onside. He will cut back to his right foot, puts it in the box, but it's caught out by Dion Harasep. Here now is the left back, that's Nambondi, giving the fans something to cheer about there. There is Nambondi once more. Bakonja. Down the line, that ball has found Paulus. He's quick, not really physical, but he is quick. Willie Stefanis almost breaks through the number 8. Robert Aihoro. Apologies, not the number 8. Mahariro Malanye. Tabang Malanye single-handedly giving African Stars 3 points in yesterday's game. Very early goal, his second goal of the season. Just a bit pressure there on the defender. And we're going to see if that is not Nekongo, the centre back with the peroxide hair. No, it is the number 6. And he is not on the team sheet. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I do understand how we have gotten that mix up. The number 6 centre back will have to be accounted for. Here he is on the ball now. Our team sheet has that player's name missing, but I will get that shortly when there is a stop in play. But here now is Moses Weyuru and Karasep. Here now is Weyuru. Nambondi with the pass, trying to thread it up to the front 3. Caught out by Charles. Katua, now Bakonja. Taken off the ball by a very skilled Nambondi. Mighty Gunners can now build. Aihuru just going back to his back line. That was good defensive work there from Jomo just to catch out the defender. And Stars can now build with a throw. Given away once more. Good skill there from the number 3. And Bodi. Throw in to be taken by Philippus. Gaisep. Has to be retaken though. And we can already see some of the emotions coming out throughout this game. A good turn there from Horosep. Katua is strong enough to deal with any damage. Long throw in coming from Philippus. Gaisep. Very long throw in. And again the referee telling him to get back to where it was thrown from, or where it went out from. He takes the throw in now to Nambole, and who has been robbed by Jomo. And that's a foul. Katua, pressure, going back to his goalkeeper. Garuka. Oh. Superstar, the ladies' man, Marvin Lukaku Kasetura, with a beautiful save at the end of yesterday's game against Okanja United. An important save. Charles Ambira over the top for Jomo, but it's caught out from Philippus. Yes, indeed, Bakonja Taikika is playing just behind the front 3. In fact, perhaps Willie Stefanis and Bakonja can maybe swap positions. Definitely Jomo and Paulus will be on the 2 flanks. Katua winning the throw once more. So Bakonja and Stefanis will alter change between striker and attacking midfielder. Stiga and Maharuro, the 2 midfielders sitting deep. Here now is Stiga. Oh! Strapped off the ball from Simeon Nambondi, who has been very physical already so far in this game. And the lawyer, Stiga Kechere, haven't seen him injured once before since my appointment for commentary. So he's not a man that goes down lightly. Innocent, the lineup was read out at the beginning of the game. And that's a ball almost taken away from Stiga. Katua. Garuka still with bandages all over his face from a previous game 2 games ago. Katua pressured now from Horasep. Going back to the goalkeeper. But this physical game is an interesting one. Good turn from Bakonja. Can't find Willie Stefanis. Stiga, good turn. Choosing to go to the right flank. He cuts back. Jomo Chiveta getting involved. Back to Willie Stefanis, and as I am just in front of the dugout for African Stars, you could just hear Coach Bob Mafuso not approving of that pass from Jomo. He wanted it to be more with more ball retention back to his defender instead of coming in the midfield. Because Mighty Gunners can really set on that counter. And Mighty Gunners yesterday, they had a very fiery game against that ball just going through there. They had a very important game against Young African. It ended 2-2. So that was a very favorable result for African Stars. And of course, there's no indication of them challenging for the title, but bragging rights is still on the table. Here's Jomo now up against Philippus. Jomo will cut into his right foot. He'll find Awilo. Awilo with a little bit of a flick to Jomo. There's no foul. It has been given though. In an interesting position. And perhaps that physicality can be used as a weapon against Mighty Gunners. As they will always try to be physical against the champions and prove a point. And perhaps these set pieces will be the avenue of where African Stars can get themselves attempts on goal. Stefanis and Bakonja, the two players, looking to take it. It's a referee just talking to the four-man wall. In fact, it is a 4.5, you would say, because there is a gap. I'm sure you can see it from our angle in the picture. Let's see what Stefanis can do with this. It hit the head of one of the defenders. And head injuries always have to be assessed. Maharero with a strong challenge there. Will be a long throw in here taken from Philippus. Katua with the header. Stiga. Almost a short attempt there from Karasep. It falls now to Nambodi, and Horosep will put it into the area. Kasetura will come to collect. Just a cataclysm of errors there between those two players. It's definitely given as a foul. And that was Charles Ambira taken off of the ball. Here's Bakonja now, orchestrating from the midfield. Stefanis almost put that ball in, and another foul from the aggressive Mighty Gunners. And we have confirmed that the number 6, the centre back on the right side or the left side for Mighty Gunners is Cisco Baggio. So apologies for that, but we have brought him onto the lineup there. Thank you to all 210 of you watching in this first 15 minutes. Still no. But here comes Starboy Bakucha with that header or with that free kick to find a head. And that has gone over for Stars. No real attempts for both teams. Still a test match. And if you're asking me, Mighty Gunners has always been that team that I talked about throughout last season and this season. It's a very dangerous team if they are coached correctly. The ball just being headed back to Kazatura. So to all the elite coaches in the Debmarine Premiership, Mighty Gunners, they just need one or two kinks. And perhaps they can really be a title contending team, just like African Stars. Katoa with a bad pass, but it still falls for the Red Army. Mahero goes wide to Polis. He's up against the captain. He brings it in though. It's a header from Bakonja. And it's off target. Mighty Gunners taking everything quickly. They want to really cause African Stars some problems. We'll see how long that lasts. But we do know that their defense is very disciplined. Their attack is very disciplined. They only win by one goal or they lose by one goal. Good play between Katua Jomo and Stefano's almost finding Jomo again, but Philippus Gaisep just puts it out to touch. Foul off the ball there on, I believe, Bakoja Chaikika. The referee not coming back for it, and Mighty Gunners can bring it out. And now Stars have committed a foul. Coach Bob Mafoso and Coach Angari Herald just having words with some of their players. In fact, Mafoso is having words with the fourth official for this off-ball challenge on Bakonja Chaikika. And Coach Herald is just in the center of our picture, or not in the picture, but in the center of the pitch, just having words with these players. So yes, indeed, in this stop in play again, let me just remind you, all African Stars need to do is get a draw in this game. I can tell you that perhaps we are not playing for a draw, but that's all you need to win the title today. Let us also make sure that young Africans do what they have to do, which is essentially win against Okanja United. So please make sure to give us some updates in the YouTube chat and let us know how that game is going between Young African and Okanja United. Here's the goalkeeper, Tomwell Damasep. Back to Weyuru. It's really table tennis here from Mighty Gunners. Not choosing to build throughout or from the back line throughout their midfield. Trying to find their danger man, Stefanos Petrus, who's having words with his coach. As you can maybe see in your picture there. Just getting some advice of how to break the back line of African Stars. Here's Ngaruka charging forward. Malane. Oh, a swiping challenge on Paulus. Definitely a foul. Goodness. And the referee may be calling over the player. Is it the captain, the number 21, Ian Urab? Yes, indeed. It is Urab. And is that a yellow card? Yeah, the referee has his yellow card in the book, in his hand. I have yet to see him raise it, and there it is. Yellow card to the captain of Young Brazilians, Ian Urab. Free kick to be taken by Bakonja. A crafty left foot can whip it in with pace. Let's see how good. In the area, headed away from Cisco Baggio. Bakonja put down once more, another foul. This is going to be to the detriment of Mighty Gunners. They have now committed 7 fouls in the course of 20 minutes, while African Stars have only committed 1. Yeah, those are the numbers. And set pieces once more could be the detriment of the team in yellow. Bakonja to take it. And I will try to confirm if the Debmarine title is here in Otrango. It comes in, and in Cisco once more with a header. Thank God we got his name, as I wouldn't be able to call his name if he was heading the ball like that. Here come now Mighty Gunners. It's the number 10. He takes a shot. It's saved from Lukaku Kasekura. And that was Ronaldo Sorosep. He hasn't really featured so far in the game, but that was a blistering run. We might have to send him that highlight to him personally. Very good run from the number 10. But a moderate, medium, warm shot on target, which Lukaku definitely saved. Stiga not committing any foul there, and you can just see the dugout from Mighty Gunners standing up and arguing, how is that not a foul? I'm hearing the words chicken power from certain African Stars supporters. Here now is Stars again. Bakonja taken off the ball from Nambodi, and the number 7, Morosep, gaining that foul from Bakonja. Is it a foul or a throw-in? We'll have to confirm now, but it does look like a foul has been given. Dion Garasep, the defensive midfielder, will take it. It's a good flight. There's some yellow shirts there in the area. And that chest, it was Pietrus, Stefanos Pietrus, the danger man, who chested the ball down, but he was impeded. Taken off the ball. Here's Harasep with the shot. It's wide. That's offside. That's definitely offside from Stefanos Pietrus, who was essentially still getting up or recovering from apparently a challenge that he received in the box. So while the shot did come in from Bernard Orasep, the number 7 on this right wing, Stefanos tried to put it in, and he was offside. Interesting times here. Again, if you are able to give us the scoreline from Young African and Okanjo United, let's make things interesting as we talk to each other on the YouTube chat group. Ambira with the clearance, a back heel from Bakonja, Maharero, back to Starboy. Starboy Uno's almost finding Jomo. Katua with the defensive header, but here comes now Garasip. Garasip and Philippus almost getting swiped from Jomo. Here is Cisco. Cisco Pajo, a centre back running out of position there. Borasip down the line. And that's definitely a foul on Charles Ambira from Ronaldo Sorosip. Apologies, I'm trying to just see how the chat is not visible to me, but still put in your predictions. Do you believe African Stars will win the league today, or will they win it in Kobabas? Give us your predictions as we, or I, try to just figure out why I cannot see the chat on YouTube. But thank you all for joining us. It is still 0-0. And African Stars, of course, are trying to find some sort of revenge in a fixture that ended 1-0 to Mighty Gunners in African Stars' home fixture. Gero Katua, strong challenge from him. And that's another foolish challenge from Philippus. The referee is just allowing play to continue. Bakonja has been literally swiped off the pitch. Cisco wins that challenge from Jomo. And here now is Borosep, the number 10. It's a handball on the player. And I can still see Bakonja Taikika being assessed. He has dust on him as he was thrown into the dust illegally, in my opinion. I keep telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this is the most physical team in the Premier League. Or maybe when they play African Stars, they just decide to play very physical. That handball in the box will be taken. Here now is Hambira. And if Mighty Gunners want to get physical, you can maybe give them Ngero Katua or Maharero. Because those two players, if they find you in a tackle, they will win that tackle. And of course, the strongest man in the league, Itapin Garuka. Beautiful ball from Stiga to change play to find Paulus. Needs to get into the game more, Paulus. He may be the key. If his running and agility can be the difference. He's having trouble. And he doesn't want to get too physical with these Mighty Gunners players. Paulus Aludelu. Taken off the ball there by the number 3. Still winning, I believe, a throw-in. Free kick to be taken from Chaikika. It's a tight angle there. Any header on the ball could have maybe made the goalkeeper Damasep a little bit awkward for him, but good header to find touch. Oh, physical there from Bakonja. A turn of pace. And there's more at stake. Perhaps even Stefanos Petrus, who will find the ball at his feet. He should have just controlled it on the top of his laces and perhaps maybe booted it for maybe first time, and it maybe might have fooled Marvin Kasetura, the man that has 11 goals, Stefanos Petrus. Bakonja Chaikika is still the top goal scorer of the Debmarine Premiership with 14 goals. Simon Elago with 13, Salazar 13, Kaninab from Tigers 13, Jasper from KK Palace with 12, and Stefanos Petrus with 11. There's Petrus now, finding the number 10, Horasep. Ronaldo, Horasep. I think we just need to continue calling him Ronaldo. There's no reason to be calling him Horasep, Sorosop, when he has a first name of Ronaldo and he's playing well on that left wing. He's changed play, finding Harasep, or Horosep, apologies. And that cross couldn't find anybody. Pakocha with a very smart back heel to find Paulus. Paulus was trying to find Stefanos and Cisco. Very comfortable. Just back heeling it there. He gets it. He clears it. Jomo. Maharero. Stefanos. Maharero once more. Back to Stefanos. 3 players swarming Awilo. And that's through ball from Nambodi. Nandondi doesn't come off to find Ronaldo. Thank you to all of you watching live. That ball was kept in from Jomo. Jomo will try to go to the byline. This is what I want to see from him. Use his left hand, his left foot, apologies. That is the type of running we wish to see from Jomo Chibeta. Don't cut in. Go to the byline and use your left foot. All you have to do is swipe at it, and you never know what can happen. Maharero. Changing play, trying to find Jomo. It's cut out by Philippus. Horasep with a good up and under, trying to get the ball to Stefanos Petrus, and it's a foul from Charles Ambira. And it's going to be a yellow card, which I think is a little bit harsh. It's a little bit harsh. Let us know how many yellow cards you believe will be shown in this game. That's definitely a conversation that we can have on the live chat on YouTube, as I am seeing your comments shortly. Free kick to be taken, and Stefanos Petrus is one of those players. I do believe it's the number 18 Dion Karisep, the other player, trying to line this up. Only one shot on target from Ronaldo. Sorosep is the only shot on target so far in this game. Perhaps the Gunners can find another attempt on goal. Our pictures have the angle perfectly, and you can just see the number 15, the man with 11 goals this season, Stefanos Petrus, lining up with his shiny legs, socks down to his boots. He has to take it with his left foot. He will. Marvin Lukaku Kasetura. But that is a yellow card again for Charles Ambira. So 2 yellow cards so far in this game. Tabang Malane. Down the line for Paulus. Can't really stay on his feet, Paulus. He's coming up against the captain. But once more, the captain is on a yellow card. So if Paulus can just continue to attack him. And the captain is even having words with the linesman there. So perhaps one of the little small tactics will be to run at the left back. Makoja, he was lining up to take a shot, taken off the ball, no foul. Here now is Horasep on keep it in. Or he did keep it in, but his pass was essentially to Lukaku. Here now is Nambon. Harasap taking over the ball. He'll put the cross in. Maharero with the defensive header. It's still in the area for a shot over the crossbar. One of the players on the way over. But this is the first corner of the game, in fact, ladies and gentlemen. It will be taken by Bernard Horasep. And the sea of yellow will try to wash out the fires of the Red Army. That's a goal, and that's an assist for Namdondi into the game. And this is exactly the physical game that Mighty Gunners can do. And although I am a neutral, or although I am if any coach is looking at a team to try and evolve, this is a very good team to look out for, Mighty Gunners, as the seasons go along. Yes, Young African have had a good season this season, but last season they were nowhere. Mighty Gunners has always been in the top 4 for 3 seasons now. And they just need that, maybe that 1 or 2 players, those tactical changes to make them a true title contender. 1-0. And conceding from a set piece, it's an odd thing for African Stars. Charles Ambira just put under pressure there from the goal scorer, Horasep. He's a very good player, Horasep, this number 7. Bernard Horasep. Here's the man who gave him the assist, Namdombi. Good footwork from him, giving the crowd something to cheer. It's getting a little bit out of hand now for the Red Army. We still have to pay attention to the score line in, and that's a back pass. Yes, indeed. That's a back pass. Oh, and now they're negotiating what part of the leg the back pass was taken from the knee or from the leg. And the referee and the linesman will have words, but you can just see Willie Stefanus there. And there might be a very interesting decision given from the referee. Stefanus is trying to get the ball from Tomwell Damasek. And now Ngaruka is even having words with the ball boy to give him the ball. Is there a penalty coming up? That can't be a penalty. It will be an indirect free kick. But if, yeah, it will be an indirect free kick. Such a beautiful fixture between these two teams, it must be said, as a neutral. In fact, the same referee was the referee and the linesman has made the decision. So it will just be a Mighty Gunners ball. Willie Stefanus still pleading African Stars' case. And it's an indirect free kick. It's an indirect free kick. My goodness. Oh no, Willie Stefanus has not picked the ball up with his hands. Is that now the linesman going to say that Stefanus has now put a handball because he picked up the ball? Oh my goodness. Just drop the ball and let play continue. The decision is up in the air. Just let the ball get dropped. We have no idea what is going to come from this. The goalkeeper, Damaset, is coming over to maybe have some words with his coach, or perhaps even the fourth official and the match commissioners. So now he's talking to the fourth official. You can see the two math officials, the woman in the grey suit and the man in the black suit, that have essentially been taken away from their office of delegation to come and sort out this issue. Hello. We are accommodating here. So very interesting times. We still don't know what the result will be, but it does look like it will be an indirect free kick. No man. I know man. It's not like that. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for a little bit of the language and the commotion here. Sometimes games of football are very emotional, but we are all fine and dandy. And still, this issue has not been sorted. Perhaps the players would just have to take a break, and the DJ will just. It is still 1-0 to Mighty Gunners, no matter how the end of this first half comes to play. This is interesting times. And the referee still having words with his fourth official. Coach Hungera and Herald is now having words with Willie Stefanus. Of course, two people that respect each other regardless. But if you're just joining us, what is at play is that there was a back pass, but if a back pass is from the knee, the goalkeeper is allowed to pick the ball up. It can only come from the foot, and that would be deemed as a back pass. So you can maybe just rewind a little bit. I'll try to do it here on my phone to just see maybe what happened. Play will continue though, so we'll have that in the highlights package definitely just before halftime, the 42nd minute. But yeah, there was a few altercations here, which myself and Lady Sapota were very strong to hold off a group of angry men from Mighty Gunners and Ochibarongo. But we stood fast. Game continues. Patel with the throw, Ngero Katua. Makonja will try to put it down and he's been swiped and kicked. No foul, I literally saw that. And it's a foul given to Mighty Gunners. That's interesting. This referee is quite interesting. And perhaps, ladies and gentlemen, hey, if it is what it is, the most important thing is just to make sure that 5 minutes and if we can just get 1 point, that is all African Stars need to win the title. That ball cut out there from Garuka, thankfully. I believe that's a handball. Over the top, trying to find Jomo. Hit it out from Philippus. Second ball to Mighty Gunners. Cleared from Cisco Baggio. His foot, clear, foul. Only 2 yellow cards in this game. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, what do you believe will be the final tally of cards? But in all truth, the most important stat is at the top left corner of your screen. 1-0 to Mighty Gunners. Makocha with the free kick, it's hot, but it just goes out. That was a good one. Not good enough to catch a head of a red shirt. Almost off half time. You can't even assume if the referee even understands where his time is. He might add on maybe 5 to 6 minutes. Gero Katua up against the goal scorer, Horaset, and that is half time. It's a dirty game, Bokati Stadium. It is going at the Bokati Stadium. It is 1-0 to Mighty Gunners. Stay tuned for another tense 45 minutes. One, two. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the Bokati Stadium in Ochivarongo. It is 1-0 to Mighty Gunners. A goal scored by Bernard Horosep, Horasep from a corner, near post header. And it has made certain things very interesting. And of course, the afters and all the commotion, you could sense it in the broadcast. And just score lines, wow. David Haaland scoring 4 goals against Kukatops, the man from Blue Waters. Unam defeated Tigers, but we are still looking for that result against Okanja United and Young African. Because once again, even if African Stars lose today's game and still sit at 56 points, Young African would have to at least win their game. They must win their game to have any interesting dynamic to the end of the season in that last game. But if they draw against Okanja United, they will be, and African Stars lose, they will still be 5 points adrift. And that will essentially win the title for African Stars, even in a defeat here in Ochivarongo. But again, if African Stars can find an equalizer and a shot from Bakota Starboy, that will maybe give us the equalizer, the 1 point that will win us the title. Oh, African Stars coming out hot. Jomo puts it into the area. Mahaduro is there. He jumps. He gets a header on. But it's just Philippus couldn't find the goal scorer on that right wing. Throw into Stars. Very interesting how this game has ended. As Coach Bob Mafoso was alluded to the fact that Mighty Gunners are a very physical team. He had not played Mighty Gunners at Simeon. The police are here, ladies and gentlemen. I can confirm that. So let's see how the second half goes in the aspect of discipline from the fans. To it, Garuka got a flick from Bakonja. Namdomdi, good play from him, the number 3. He finds the goal scorer, Bernard Horasep, who puts it in the box. In fact, just maybe fouled the player, but the referee allows it to continue. Stefanus robbed the ball off of Garasep. Stars can now come out, but Cisco. Good game from Cisco Bajo, the player that I couldn't get the name of in the first 10 minutes of the game. He does have that yellow hair or peroxide hair. He's had a good game at centre back, intercepting all the balls that were threaded through. Players are being assessed. Mighty Gunners have always been a bogey team for African Stars this season, taking all 3 points from the Red Army last season. Or let's just go back to the Maris Cup. Most recent time that African Stars beat Mighty Gunners 1-0. Jomo Chiveta scoring the only goal in that Maris Cup, I believe, quarterfinal. And last season, Mighty Gunners won against Stars in their away fixture. I remember that as I was not available for commentary. But African Stars in the first game between the two won. But all of these scorelines have been 1-0. Jomo, Stefanus, cleared by Karasep. Charles Ambira just with a beautiful touch of control there. Tabang Malani. Cisco with another good header. Very commanding centre back. Here is. And it will be interesting to just maybe find out if Young African versus Okanja United, what the scoreline is there. And yes, indeed, Young African are leading Okanja United 1-0. So if the game ends as such, African Stars will still have 56 points and Young African will have 53 points. So as I said in the beginning of our stream, if Stars even lose in Kobabas, Garuka pressured by Stefanus or Petrus. Stefanus Petrus it is. But Garuka comes out beating two players as a midfielder. Good play to Willie Stefanus. He's been bundled off the ball, trying to find Maharero. It has found Bakonja. Bakonja taken off the ball. In that midfield. Oh, swiping one of the players. There will be an advantage, but there will definitely might be a yellow card for Ronald Kachiere. The foul has been brought back, being called onto the pitch as the referee will perhaps have words with Stiga for a yellow card offense. To Mighty Gunners. That's the third yellow card of the game. We're keeping tabs on that. Nambondi and Karasip standing. Nambondi takes it. It's just wide. Katua. Intercepted. Here comes Mighty Gunners now. That ball over the top, not working. So while the scoreline reads as such, it is only a chance at the corner. Oh, it's made it awkward there. Paulus But you could just see maybe how Paulus maybe didn't commit the foul. He just got in front of the player trying to clear the ball. Oh no, it's still what 0-0 between Okanja United and Young Africans. So correction of that scoreline. Are able to defeat African Stars here. Jomo beating a player. He's now on that left flank. He's up against Garrison. He's jumped into a foul. To the disappointment of the coaching staff of the Red Army. Makonja, a slip, but still has control to find the pass to Stefanis. Stefanis will chip it over the top for Paulus. Cisco is there, and Cisco is strong to keep it at a goal kick. Katua and the goal scorer, Orasep, challenging amongst each other. It's on that right flank. Orasep is giving pressure still. Still having a good game. No, that is Namdondi. And bad pass there from the captain. And Stiga has just been bundled over the ball. Definitely a foul towards African Stars. Garuka to take it. Choosing to go to his back line. Cleared from Hambira. Cisco with another header. Nambondi having a good game, the number 3. He sent it to another player that's had a good game. Orasep, the goalkeeper, he's chipped it to the back post for Ronaldo. And Garuka stops the nonsense. Here now is the captain, Ian Urasep, who has a yellow card. Stefanis up against Weyuru. He's found Bakonja. Bakonja will try to give it a through ball to Jomo. He's going to have to use his left foot. He's been bundled off the ball from Philippus. It's a dirty way of defending, but it is effective and it is legal. Bakonja puts it back into the box. Another good save from Tomwell Kamaset up against Stefanis. Here now is Garasip. It's a great game for the neutrals. Urusep pressured by 2 players. One of them is Vitapin Garuka. And Paulus will take the throw. That pass finding Bakonja, and Bakonja has done very well to win a nothing ball. That goal from Paulus didn't find any player, but Bakonja came back to try and recycle it and winning the foul. To have a set piece. So apparently the game now is 2-0 to Young African in Okahanja. So let's just say that Young African are winning that game again. It will be 56 versus 53 at the top of the table. African Stars will still have 3 points if the game ends this way here in Nochivarongo. Star boy Chahikika to take the free kick. It's at the back post, and that's Bitapin Garuka, the strongest man in the league. And Bakonja is celebrating with the spectators as if the ball found the back of the net without a touch. It's really hard to see from our angle, but I could definitely see Bitapin Garuka involved in that. So what can you say? Let's just see how the two players or how the players are celebrating amongst themselves. It seems to be a straight free kick from Bakonja Chaikika. We will learn more later. But perhaps Bakonja Chaikika has scored his 15th goal of the season. And this is now where the league title can be won. If it stays like this, it will be African Stars lifting the Debmarine title in Otarango. Well, we can't confirm that the title is here and the champagne is here, but perhaps we will go celebrating for Babas. But let us still see if the 90-minute mark will still have the scoreline as such. Mighty Gunners are preparing a substitution. That was a beautiful free kick from Bakonja Chaikika. The replay will show that we had a good angle on that free kick. It's in the box for Mighty Gunners. It's cleared from Stiga, up and under. Now Dondi will put it in. Garuka will head it out. And Bakonja will put it down for Paulus. Down the line for Awilo. Changing play. Bakonja down the line for Jomo. This is where he needs to use his left foot. He cuts back to his right. Gero Katua, blocked by his own player, unfortunately. Maharero, Tabang Malande, Paulus, touching the ball. And Willie Stefanis couldn't put that chip over. But it is a foul given to African Stars. Interesting times now. Very, very interesting. We do know that Young African are winning, but it doesn't matter if a draw is established today. That will be the title. Substitution for Mighty Gunners. The number 5 has come on. It is Nekongo coming on for the number 8, Robert Horo. Oh, there's a foul there from Paulus. An unnecessary foul for Paulus. And African Stars preparing their own substitution in Godwin Isaac. To add some creativity, perhaps that's the avenue that Coach Paul Bob Mafoso would like to go at. You can just see him in the picture having words with Coach V. And let's see who the player is coming off. And I do believe it will be the wizard Awilo Willie Stefanis. Stefanis just having words with the referee. There's respect there. There's mutual respect. Stefanis is a talisman in Namibian football. Everybody knows him. And he is coming off for Godwin Isaac. So what I can say with how positionally Makonja will now come to the Maharero and Ronald Kechiere. Here's Paulus now. Kicked it up against the player. Here now is Paulus once more. Couldn't control it. But the captain, Ian Kurasek, just clears. cheers of "We Want More" from the Red Army supporters here at the Bokati Stadium. Thank you for joining us live on YouTube. I don't have my phone to see your comments, but please tell your football friends and family that the title is in our hands currently. It is 1-1. Mighty Ghana scoring first. Makonta Chaikika equalized. It's in the box. It's an awkward header from Stefanos Petrus. Nekongo, he goes wide. Here's the goal scorer, Borasek. That ball has gone out. Throw into Stars. Hero Katua not with an easy pass there. Mahadero. Godwin committing a foul. It will be very interesting to see how the spectators will celebrate if the full-time whistle goes with the scoreline as such. I can tell you, I'll hold my pockets dear to me, because a lot of people will be running around at that point in time at the Bokati Chivarongo Stadium. A lot of security is here. A third police car has joined the stadium. Head on from Petrus. And it's been a tough game for Stefanos Petrus. The number 15, he's now just received a knock to the head. The star man with 15 or 11 goals. But Konja Chaikika has 15 goals. So we'll just have a break in play. So at this time, the bottom of the table is still an interesting one, but young Brazilians are playing chula-chula. The top of the table has been established, but the bottom of the table still up in the air. But, we might know that it might be curtains for young Brazilians. Regardless, Jelinho Athletic just need to get one point, and then it will be done at the bottom of the table. But we are here for the top of the table. Malane in that midfield area. Oh, there's a bump from two players there. Mahadero right in front of the referee. Interesting, tense moments still. Sticker with a good pass to find Paulus. That first touch, not good enough for Paulus. Stars ball. And here is the substitution for Mighty Gunners. It is Stefanos Petrus, the star man with 11 goals, coming off for Edwin Rivaldo. 2 goals in it, really. And to be honest, I think it was Bernard Borasek who scored that goal in the first fixture in game week 15. So he enjoys scoring against African Stars. That ball is trying to find him now. Bernard Borasek, who's controlled it well. A fancy flick finding Nekongo. Then now is Bernard once more up against Ngero Katua. In fact, that was Maharero. And Bernat is just in saying that his arm or shoulder might have just come out of the socket, and the African Stars player is just trying to maybe assist him. It's the 70th minute, so definitely 20 minutes with additional times. 20 minutes to go for what could be a celebrations on the pitch here at the Bokati Stadium. Again, we just want to be cautioned with how many supporters are here. The police presence and the security will definitely have to assemble themselves if the scoreline stays the same, because the celebrations will be wild. If it's in the favor of African Stars, I don't have anything to worry about. But a large amount of personnel will be running onto the pitch. I will definitely run onto the pitch because I have to conduct some post-match interviews. But in fact, we still have to travel back to Ventu, so maybe the interviews won't be too long. We want to get interviews from all the players. I haven't seen an ambulance car go onto a pitch like that before, but yeah, that is was him in fact who scored the goal against African Stars in game week 15. Antiganas beating African Stars 1-0. He is now the player being stretchered off in the ambulance for what is maybe a shoulder injury. Scoreline in Ochivarongo, no, in fact in Okanja. But what has transpired here, that African Stars have come back from behind to score a very important goal to make it 1-1. And with Kosafa Cup coming up, the 5th of June will be the first game for Namibia against Angola. You would want to have the season done and dusted before the following 5 players go for their international commitments: Kasitura Hambina, Gero Katua, Bakonja, and Awilo. So today could still be that day. A substitution will have to be confirmed for the number 7, Bernard Borasep, the goal scorer. He will come off now for the number 11. Malani with a chip in there, and Tomwell Damasek does well to catch. Matiganas still playing with 10 men. In fact, 2 players are entering the game shortly. Having words with the coach now, Coach Hungary Gerald. The 2 coaches are just talking politics. Will come on for, and in fact it will be the captain, Ian Urab, coming off for Gerald. Back to 11 versus 11. Here's Cisco Yamasep to Gerald entering the game. Throw into Stars. Stars having the better part of this second half. Header from Paulus. That's a good one. Godwin with some light touches. Malane will just put it into the area. Jomo is giving some pressure, and the corner has been won. Makonta Hikika really need to put the ball back into play as quickly as possible to try and get 3 points. Jomo is there in support. Oh, is that a junkie? We'll have to see. The ball is in the area. Oh my goodness. It's just gone down the cross line. It's still there. It's been cleared by Cisco. And that's some action just to give African Stars all 3 points. And that there be the title. Because even if Mighty Gunners could find an equalizer, if Stars went ahead, that would still give the Red Army the Debmarine Premiership 2005. That was interesting. Definitely an attempt on goal there for African Stars. Perhaps two, maybe one off target, one on target. But fine margins because these are the last 10 minutes of a championship season that the Red Army have come back. Young African, you have to give a coach of the season, of course, Coach Benny Hauset, who had to be interim coach, and now Coach Bob Mafoso have won the title. But making it interesting at the top of the table. But it's not over yet. One goal for Mighty Gunners will change the mood immediately. Here they are now. Get out to take the throw. Here is now a player that has been playing very well, the number 3, Simeon Namdondi, in that midfield role, the number 3 for Mighty Gunners. Beautiful touch from him there. That gave the crowd something to lick their lips about. Another long throw. Maharero with that header. Gero Katua with the clearance. Anyway will do in these last 10 minutes. And I can tell you it's probably going to be 20 minutes until the final whistle. Loads of additional time will follow. That throw headed out from Katua once more. No foul. Play goes on. Here's Nandondi back to his goalkeeper. And Maya Herrero has just been bundled off the ball there onto his face by what could only be an elbow. That looked a little bit nasty. And he might be busted open. But you can see Vitapin Garuka saying no medical staff needed. He's a gangster, Maharero. Good control from Paulus. Finding Malan. Godwin. Small touch to Malane, but cleared by the yellow team. No foul. And that's a foul given against the Mighty Gunner player, that is Le Congo, to the disagreement and frustration of the Mighty. Maharero is still holding his head. Of course, he only needs his legs to play football, but I will. He's not moving as if he is suffering a little bit of a concussion. Still seems fine. Makonja now to take this free kick. I think he should hit it. I think he's earned the right as top goal scorer of the season to take this free kick on his own. If the title is won, let's see what the star boy can do. Over the top. The game has really calmed down in physicality. It's still very physical. Defensive back heel from Charles Ambida, and that's a hard challenge on Maharero, but play has continued. Katua now clears. Questions to the referee. You could almost see the sand coming out from the ground in that challenge. Maharero with a good header there. Victor Pingaruka, the strongest man in the league. Good tackle, it must be said, from Nekongo. And African Stars have won the free kick. And I could understand what the referee was doing there. There were two instances. The foul or the tackle was perhaps good. Was maybe a good tackle for advantage for African Stars there. But when the ball was lost, the referee had to bring it back. I can't beat the first man. Here's Sorose going wide to the new man, Suya. He's quick. Can he put the cross in? He can't, but he can win the corner. Corner of the second half for Mighty Gunners. It's in the box. Cisco is there, but Gero Katua clears. He's had a very good defensive showing today. Gero Katua at left back. While this game demanded players to be physical, he has been calm. Most of the times he would be even more physical and more crazy than most players. He's done well with his defensive work. Paulus swiped off the ball. Absolutely swiped off the ball. You could see that in the replay. You could see that on our camera screen right there. The linesman had to give the foul. The referee wasn't going to allow that to continue. That's definitely a foul. No yellow card though. Stiga, our captain, having words with Paulus, saying that you're doing well. Take a foul, give us back possession. That's how football is played. Tapping Daruka to take this free kick. Maybe he wants to score from this angle. Let's see what he can do. Oh, he's gone for Maharero at the back post. Godwin Isip is there, laying it off for Jumbo. And over the crossbar, clearly. No corner there, while it looked like it did deflect off of somebody. Cisco. Here now is Garasi. Cisco Baggio. A header from a Mighty Ghana player, a clearance from a Red Army player, and it's a goal kick. Oof. A very physical stream this has been. And African Stars are moments away from winning the Debmarine Premiership It is 1-1, and I did say African Stars, we all know the stat. African Stars just need 1 point to get Okatwa with a crazy clearance. It might be interesting, but the bounce of the ball is favorable. Moments, moments left. Three-peat, 3 times in a row. I started commentating when African Stars won the title. Jomo might put pressure on Weyulu, but Weyulu comes out with that ball. He puts the cross in. Charles Ambira with the clearance. African Stars preparing 2 substitutions down the line for Godwin Isaac. He needs to beat Garasep. He has beat Garasep. It's still Godwin Isaac with a little bit of a turn. Bakonja is in support. But Cisco Baggio, the number 6, has done well. And another player who has done very well is Simeon Nambondi. And Maharero will receive that yellow card. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. But yes, in fact, 2 players that have played very well in this game, Cisco Baggio, and the number 3, Nambondi, for Mighty Gunners. Really 2 players that have impressed me throughout this game. 5 minutes left, but I can tell you that might go to 15. Good catch from him. He wants to score against the goalkeeper. Marvin Kasetura almost finding his goal for the season. He has 1 assist, Marvin Kasetura. Sorasep getting robbed off of the ball from Malane. Good defensive work from Malane. Stars still trying to get their 2 substitutes in the game, and they have now gotten the time to make these substitutions. Jomo Tiveta will leave the game. In the last game, Jomo scored the winner in the MTC Maris Cup to get African Stars over Mighty Gunners in the quarterfinal. He will come off. And Bakonja Chahikika, who I believe has scored his 15th goal of the season, has given African Stars the title if the game can end this way. Gianluca and Rika Mujua have entered the game. There is a young or Mighty Gunners player that is still on the floor at the left side of our area. It is the number 10, Ronaldo Sorosep. So I can just assume that Gianluca now has come to will still be at left back. So essentially a back 5. Perhaps Tabang Malane will maybe come more forward on that right wing. Maharero with a good header. A smarter player just robbing the ball off of the number 3. That's what happens when you dribble too much. Good play from Godwin. That's a high foot. Pero up against Surya has done anything on that right wing. Even though Bernard Horasep on that right wing had a good game, defensively has done very well. So Ghetto is probably only too aggressive with aggressive teams, but against an aggressive team like Mighty Gunners, he has educated tackles. Sorasep. From Gerald. Minutes left in normal time. It's an up and under. Kasetura needs to be sure, and he is. That's a brave warrior. Just taking his time. Coach Paul Bob Mafoso hasn't sat down this entire second half. He knows that the title is there. The Champions League in the postseason could be there for this team. African Stars will go back and try our best in the African Champions League. Good clearance from Garuka, headed out. Stiga. We will definitely get an interview from him as the captain who will be leaving this team at the end of the season. He will be lifting the trophy, and perhaps tears will fall from his eyes, leading this team in red to a three-peat. And that is full time. African Stars are the 2024-2025 Debmarine Football Premier League champions. They've done it. Interviews will be coming up after the game. We will have to travel to the back to Windhoek, but we will give the respect to the essence of a championship won like this. It is the Debmarine champions are African Stars. So stay tuned for the interviews, and wow, we've done it 3 times in a row.